There's no racing in Cape Town, so time for a closer look at racing in KZN on the weekend. Hello again from me, Rouvaun Smit. Thanks for joining me as we preview our Hollywoodbets Greyville race meeting for Sunday afternoon, where we have a 9-race program for the day that gets underway at 12:10. Now, with 9 races on the card, it means the exotics only kicks off in the second. What does kick off before the first is, of course, the free Hollywoodbet Punter Challenge. If you are going to be taking one, make sure your selections are on 5 minutes before the advertised starting time of the first. You need to take the bet slip. Now, if memory served me correctly, on Monday past at Hollywoodbets Greyville, that pool was sitting in the region of 1.74 million. If you're the one person to correctly pick all the winners on this program and you've taken the bet slip, that life-changing jackpot could be yours. Let's see how many winners we can find as we work our way through this card. For Hollywoodbets Greyville, the first race, a maiden plate over 1,400 metres, where 14 runners are carded to contest the Open. And I spent a bit of time going through race 1 because I thought that you probably could make a case for more than one of them. But in the end, I decided to go with the horse that owes me. And because I went for him last time out in Cape Town, I do hope that he's going to make amends in KZN. And I'm talking about number 5, Gurkha. Last time out, I sat in front of the TV going, what happened when he ran below par? Because he certainly was coming along the right way if one looks at his first 3 starts. Now, having moved up to KZN, he returns after a 12-week break. He is having his debut in the province. He's nicely drawn. The Kanamea-Zaki combination is in good form. Now, I did right, if not in need of the outing and taken to this track, with a good Cape Town form, he should be the one to beat. So, I hope number 5 Gurkha can make amends for that last disappointing run and win the opener ahead of 4 Do in Time, who I think is the biggest danger. For third, I'm going 9 Master de Rouvray, and for fourth, number 11 Black Plathina. 5, 4, 9, 11, the numbers in race number 1. Second race on the card is the opening leg of the bipod. You need to be on at 12:45. It's a Class 5 with a benchmark of 66, a race to be run over 1,400 metres. A field of 10 runners carded to contest race 2 on the programme, and I'm going with a horse that remains in Class 4 company after having won at this level last time out, and I'm siding with number 10 Mac Hardy. As I said, won his last start over this distance on the poly. The form line of that last start has been franked by the horse that finished second that day, a horse called Nimzam, who subsequently won and given the form line a boost. The stable of Andre Nel is in good form. Tristan Godden knows him well, and by remaining in Class 5 company, he does take on a similar type of field that he did last time out. He only has the widest draw to contend with, but I do think he will be involved in the shake-up. So I'm going 10 McHardy, ahead of 2 Beach Palace, 1 Lil Timo, and 4 Mariachi Madness. 10, 2, 1, 4, the numbers in race number 2. Third race on the programme is a middle stakes over 1,400. 13 runners are carded to contest the opening leg of the place accumulator, and you need to be on by 13:20. Once again, I'm siding with Craig Zaki and Dean Kanamea, and I'm going with number 1, Golden Destiny. Winner of his last 2 starts, and I distinctly remember that last win, when somebody actually told me, today's the day you can have a few round on, and I duly did. In fact, this horse found quite a bit of support that day and ran on powerfully to win on that occasion. The horse that finished third in that race was a horse called Street Outlaw, who has subsequently come out and won. Now, Golden Destiny does bring very good Cape Town form to KZN, and I do think can bring up the hat-trick. So I'm going 1 Golden Destiny to beat number 8 Stars in Heaven, 10 Tyrconnell, and 4 Capsican. 1, 8, 10, 4, the numbers race 3. Race 4 is the first leg of the pick 6. 13.55 is the off. It's a D stakes over 1,800. 13 runners are carded to contest race 4 on the card. And I like a horse here that's bound to start at a very, very good price. I'm going with number 10, Basi Raghvat, as my first choice selection in race number 4. Now, I've been waiting for him to show signs of a form return, which he has. In fact, he's been getting closer and closer with each of his recent starts. He stayed on when he finished in the money in those 2 runs. Now, if one looks at the form, last time out, he met a horse called Shiny Bob, with whom he renews rivalry this time out. Shiny Bob is number 6 in this race. Shiny Bob finished 1.3 lengths behind him and is now 1.5 kilos better off at the weights, which means Shiny Bob should basically reverse the form and have enough to actually finish ahead of Basi Raghvat. On the other hand, in the penultimate, Basi Raghvat finished 1.2 lengths behind number 7, King Bavarian. He's now 5 kilos better off at the weights, so he should definitely turn the tables on that one. Nicholas Patel retains the ride for MJ Odendaal, and I do think that by him coming from off the pace, he'll be mowing them down in the run to the wire, and I'm going with a real roughie, 10 Basi Raghvat to win it, ahead of 6 Shiny Bob, 5 Animal Impact, and 1 Elusive Bell. We move on to the first leg of the jackpot, race 5. You need to be on by 13:30. Jackpot 1 is a B stakes over 1800 metres. 13 runners carded to contest race 5. And here I'm going with number 3, Field Marshal, as my first choice selection, purely because this horse has got very good recent form. And I do think should have finished a lot closer last time out to the winner, but had valid excuses that day. He took an awkward stride at the 350 and hung in the closing stages. His only win has come over this distance, and that was 4 runs ago. He now gets the services of Craig Zaki, and from Stallgate 3 I do think will have the run of the race. So I'm going 3 Field Marshal to win it, ahead of 1 Spirit of Nirvana, 4 Quartermain, and 6 View of the World. Second jackpot of the afternoon kicks off race 6 at 15:05, the Class 5 benchmark 66. A race to be run over 1,000 metres, and 10 runners are carded to contest race 6 on the card. Now, half of them are returning from a bit of a break, so I'm going with the horses that have fitness on their side, and I'm siding with the Hollywood-owned number 5 Purple Powerhouse to win race 6 on the programme. Now, this horse has got decent recent form. If one looks at the way he's been running lately, you'll say that he probably does prefer a little bit further. However, if you'll see in the form, he is equally as effective over the minimum trip. In all likelihood, he's going to be settling towards the rear of the field, but he will be making solid headway in the home straight, and I do think he is overdue another win and should be rewarded for consistency. So I'm going 5 Purple Powerhouse to win, ahead of 8 Inafix, 9 Victor Rail, and 3 Music is Life. 5, 8, 9, 3, the numbers race 6. 7th of the afternoon, a Class 5 Fillies and Mares, benchmark 66 over 1200. Here we have 10 runners who will contest race 7 on the programme. And this was, I thought, one of the more trickier races on the card, because you're probably going to have to put in a few to safely see you through the exotics if you are playing them on the afternoon. I'm siding with number 2, Sahara Dawn. Now, this horse stayed on, went 5th last time out over the course and distance. She had valid excuses for not having finished a lot closer. She hung inwards in the final 350. Now, if she does remain on a straight course as they turn for home, she should be involved in the finish. This is Sean Terry's only runner on the day. He's got Craig Zaki on board. I do think she'll give a good account of herself, and I do think Sean Terry should end up with a 100% strike rate after race 7. So I'm going 2 Sahara Dawn, ahead of 7 Vision to Achieve, 6 My True Love, and 9 The Queen Bee. 8th race on the card is a Class 4 benchmark 80 over 1200. 14 runners plus 3 reserves are what's carded for the 8th race, and here I'm going with a Hollywood-owned horse again, and this time I'm siding with number 2 Moya Wa La Liga. This horse finished off his race well, when second best last time out over 1400 metres. That was on the Poly. Now, that form line has held up well, because it has been franked by a horse called Terminator, who has subsequently come out and won. He should have the run of the race, jumping from Stallgate 2. He now gets the services of Simango Khumalo, who will give him that extra bit of assistance, and I do think he takes on similar company as he did last time out this time round. He does warrant inclusion in everything, so 2 Moya Wala Liga to beat 13 Superfast, 3 Blinked and 12 Al Dante are the selections in race number 8. And that takes us on to the lucky last. Race 9 jumps at 1650 if all goes according to plan. A Class 3 benchmark 96 over 1200. 14 runners carded. 2 contests the last race on the programme. And I do hope that the combination that opened the meeting can close the meeting. I'm going with number 2, Rich Folks Hoax. This horse brings decent Western Cape form to KZN. This horse was staying on when third last time out over 1600 metres at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. He does drop back in trip, but he does carry a nice handy galloping weight, and I do think he will be doing his best work in the run to the wire. So I'm hoping that Kanamea and Zaki will not only open, but they will close the meeting for us and win it with number 2 Rich Folks Hoax to beat 5 Future Flow, 8 Quandary and 11 King of Spin. 2, 5, 6, 11. The numbers in the last, and that takes care of racing on Sunday afternoon at Hollywoodbets Greyville. Trust you'll have an enjoyable and profitable weekend's racing. Till next time from me, Rouvaun, you take care. Cheers for now.